What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Third and Very Long. I'm joined by my lovely co-host Tyler. Tyler, man, these last 2 weeks have been really rough. Every Sunday's been feeling like a punch in the gut. I just want to get my wisdom teeth moved, then watch the Jets play. At this point, I want to hear your thoughts and like what you think about what they've been so far.
I don't think they've been much of anything. That you know what? That stinks. I mean, you talked about wisdom teeth, and it really felt like every time I turned the football on at 1 o'clock on Sunday, I was getting my wisdom teeth out, and that stinks. But what it correlates to is them being unprepared. I mean, that New York Jets football team looks like they just started to practice. Like a couple, they started to practice the week of game one. It really looked unprepared. And I mean, I got a little token in college from my college coach that said, if you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. That's what it's going to be. If you don't do the things leading up to the week and you don't do the correct things that your coach says, or you don't prepare correctly, you're probably going to fail. And that's what they look like they did not prepare at all.
Oh my God, yeah, it was awful. I didn't know what was going on half the time. But especially week one, I was like, let's do this, let's go. Right out the gate, who's one player that you liked?
I mean, right off the gate, I would say week one, like Marcus May came out swinging. I mean,
Hmm.
he almost left Jamal shadow. He left that shadow gone.
Yeah.
That's exact. I mean, he did what Jamal did last year, but kind of expanded on it. I mean, he came out, he balled, and that's what we needed from a safety. You saw him at the box. You saw him in coverage. You know what? Jamal never was that good in coverage. He's a box safety. Marcus May gives us that another option, but he can play that box safety role. And over the past 2 weeks, he's been balling, and like that's something we really, really needed
Yeah,
to.
he had 2 sacks and a forced fumble week one, right? And like 7 tackles on top
Yeah,
of that. He
yeah.
was like flying everywhere.
He was flying everywhere, and that's what we expect. You know what? That's what we expected from Marcus May. So
Hmm.
when people are like, "Oh, Jamal's gone," this and that, guess what? Marcus May stepped up, and that's what you needed. Um, what about you? Anybody that really popped out over the past 2 weeks for you? That
Um, for me, the first one I want to start about like with one is Les Austin, and he looked pretty solid in coverage, and he also did cause a fumble too. Um, Good to see him take a bigger step from what he looked like week or his first year when we got him in what the fifth round was it?
I think it was the
Fifth.
sixth
It
round,
was late. He was a late round pick.
sixth round. Yeah,
We got him. We are like, all right, practice squad food.
Rutgers guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he came in and he stepped up, and he was very good at the end of the year last year, and I think it genuinely carried over. He carried with the chip on his shoulder. I saw him working his butt off over the off season, and it shows it on the field. He's still young. I mean, realistically, he didn't really play his senior year at Rutgers. He got hurt, and then he really only played a couple games last year. So think about it. He's still in rookie form, but that's really, really positive to see him play well and play hard on a team that's not really playing hard. you
yeah,
know?
and it's good for him too because the other person he lines up across on the other side of the field absolutely stinks.
Yeah, Pierre Desir is. I don't know. I don't know what he's. I mean, he was. I remember in
Yeah,
Indianapolis, he did have problems. He was. I don't know if he was benched, but he had problems staying on the field, whether it was injury or play. So we knew that coming in. We didn't really sign him for that much, but man, he got benched.
you know the scene from Star Wars when Han Solo is like cemented in concrete.
Yes.
That's what this year looks like in coverage.
Uh,
He's just like stiff as a board, can't really move or flex his hips. Like I don't know. It's just we could probably run like a quick slant route and
uh,
get open.
I mean, you look at week one, the coverage. Like, I think Stefon Diggs ran like slants like he walked them because this year was giving so much coverage or so much cushion that he literally was just, this is easy, Josh Allen, easy, easy. That type of stuff can't happen. And you know what? At halftime, guess what? You get pulled. That's what's going to
Hmm.
happen. And you know what? That I thought that was a very good move. That happened, but like a guy like Bless steps up. He's really stepping into that like corner one role that we didn't think we even remotely had.
Yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
he's been a positive. Anybody else been kind of catching your eye that's been positive? past 2 weeks?
Over the past 2 weeks, well, of course, Behemoth
Woo!
on the left side of the line. That guy Becton has been an absolute unit of a pass blocker and run blocker. He's absolutely insane. He is by far way better than what I expected coming out. I thought he was going to start right away.
Mhm.
I thought he was going to be at least a right tackle for the first half of the season, then take that left tackle. No, he
wants it, man.
Yeah, he's been an absolute unit.
I mean, Pro Football Focus has ranked him the best offensive rookie over the past 2 weeks, so says a lot.
How cool would it be if an offensive lineman won offensive rookie of the year?
That would be the most Jets thing I've ever heard. But I'll take it, Becton, he's showing it. That's the thing. Like, I mean, there's these like
I'm buying his jersey. I decided that after I watched him put Nick Bosa in his spot before he got injured that one play when Wesco came up and like blocked him when he fell funny towards ACL.
Becton is a 49ers team. That was an NFC championship. Like that defensive line is arguably one of the best in the league. I know they had some injuries, but he was moving people. So that's an amazing sign for a team that has no amazing. I would say, if anything, that was our amazing.
That was probably the best. Like that was the first pick of Joe Douglas's tenure with the Jets, and it looks
good right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Right
but
now,
the thing
is
remember we have a long season,
and we're the Jets.
We're the Jets, but if Becton can keep that energy, I mean, there was one play they ran a dive, week 2. It was like more of a power. It was off the tackle.
Okay.
Gore slips behind him after, of course, Becton pancakes someone. Becton gets up and is yelling at the sideline, "Run the ball behind me." He is pointing that he just pancaked the guy on the ground. He's pointing at the ground and yelling towards the Jets on, "Run the ball behind me." That's what I like. That's the you know what? That's the Jordan Jenkins in teaching Becton that fiery attitude and left tackle. That's what I mean. You look at like a Trent Williams. He's a nasty left tackle. You saw what he did to I forgot who it was, week 1. He was pancaking everybody week 1, Trent Williams. Guess what? That's what Becton is. They both have that.
The 49ers played. He's on the 49ers, right? Yeah, they played the Cardinals. So they played probably Chandler Jones.
Yeah, it was Chandler Jones. That's what I'm saying. It's those type of things that you need from your left tackle that's 6'8", 308 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of things you need and the type of fiery inside that they're gonna get. So that's what you really, really like to see out of Becton. But I mean, there's nothing he could even do against the Bills to help the Jets in that sense.
Yeah, offensive rookie, like he's not like a position player. Yeah, he's not getting the ball. That'd be cool if we line him up in like a fullback dive and just give him the ball. And
oh my god, you're not stopping.
Yo, Adam Gase, listen, you bum. Listen, I want to take your job if you don't step it up.
Listen, there's nothing that you can tell to Adam Gase.
Oh my god,
change his mind. Because I mean, it's
bug-eyed buffoon out there.
I mean, the thing is with Adam is like his playbook consists of dive, power, screens, and outs. When I tell you those were the 4 plays that he ran against the Bills, that was it. I mean, we're going to week 1 now. I mean, the Bills literally looked like they were just having fun, playing a little football. That was it. Hey, it was Sunday. Let's have fun. Let's play football. The Jets came out and they looked, like I said before, unprepared. And the Bills saw that. Sean McDermott did everything he can to freaking go down their throat and score points. I mean, it was a bloodbath. I mean, the Jets were lucky because they scored 17 points in garbage time.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, without Crowder doing that long run, like, the game probably would look worse. Even though I don't think it could look worse, it would look 30 times worse just because that little... It was a screen.
I think it would look worse than what the 49ers did to us because Jimmy G also got injured halfway through the game.
The injuries from that game are unbelievable, but the fact that the Jets looked unprepared week 1, and it carried over to week 2, but in week 1 they were unprepared to the point where so unprepared where Sam looked like it was like first game or two. I mean, as much as people want to bash on Gase and bash on anybody else, Sam Darnold looked putrid in week 1.
I think they're both on the hot seat right now.
I think they're both on the hot seat.
I think Gase more than Sam because Sam, it's third year and his second coach, and his second coach has the IQ of the caveman from the Geico commercials back in the early 2000s, and he kind of looks like him too if he got like a buzz cut. So yeah, I don't really fully blame it on Sam. I think Adam Gase just needs to open up the playbook and let him, like Sam make plays outside the pocket. Let him go to work. Stop putting a collar around him on a leash and pulling him back every time he's trying to do something fancy. No, he could do that. He did it last year with against the Bills with Robbie Anderson like when they were in, like their back was against the wall, and he did it week 2 with that pass to Barrios when he was backpedaling and just threw it like perfect, beautiful like pass too.
Sam's unbelievable out of the pocket. I don't know why Adam's not doing more of that. But what I will say is when we go back, if you go back to the on tape, the first half was some of the worst football I've ever seen from Sam Darnold. He was missing wide open receivers. He was rolling out, and he was missing receivers. He missed Crowder, he missed Herndon, and he missed Perriman, all on these throws in the first half that should have been easy drive movers. I mean, those are the type of plays that kill you. So when I think about like people are right now on Adam Gase, week 2 was atrocious and it was completely Adam Gase's fault. But week 1, I cannot throw that just on Adam Gase. Sam played putrid football that first half, and I don't blame Adam Gase for simplifying it from there on out because he was playing so bad. But that doesn't mean that you shut down your playbook and you don't let the kid do anything.
It looks like a high school offense out there.
That was my next point. We both played high school football. I played wide receiver and quarterback. My high school playbook, I think, was more complicated than what the Jets put out in week 1. I mean, no pre-snap motion, no movement. I feel like when Sam gets to the line, he's looking around, he's calling things out, and that's it. There's no creativity.
He does an audible. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's like a thing that Gase is saying, like, don't audible, or I'm not gonna be mad. I'm gonna be disappointed. Like, and Sam's like, yes, Dad. And then
he's following his coach's order.
Like, he's looking at blitzes and he's like, okay.
He's pointing out. You watch the Jets play football a lot. Sam talks a lot on the field. Boom, boom, boom. 58. Who's Mike? He's calling these people out. He's calling the plays out, and he's calling out blocks. But where's the creativity when it comes to the routes? Like, he should be able to be like, Herndon, run this 5-yard out because I see a gap in the defense. It looks like it's zone. Let me change Herndon's route. Because, I mean, he's making these guys become irrelevant. We have no receivers. Why are we not running two tight end sets or 3 tight end sets? We have the skill.
Wesco's good.
Wesco's Griffin, like they showed. Wesco had a great. We know about Griffin and we know about Herndon. That's what we know about. We know they can ball. Wesco had a great camp. Why is he not in? Why are we not doing two tight end set, 3 tight end set? That's what's baffling. It's these things where we know we're I guess crippled in a way of we don't have that wide receiver talent. We might not have that running back talent right now with Le'Veon Bell out. Why do we not play to our strengths? We know our tight ends can ball. Our tight ends have balled. Let them ball. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And you know what? Adam Gase is not helping anything. Really, really not helping it.
You know, how is I don't know. I haven't really seen any articles come up, but how's Denzel Mims' health? Is like
he's on the IR, so he's going to be out for at least next week.
Okay.
So I mean, I like it. I mean, it's a wide receiver, young wide receiver hamstring. Got to come back. He heard it. At this point, it's Mims is either he's going to come back in the next couple weeks, or we got a redshirt. There's no like, oh, it's a hamstring. Is a rookie. You don't need Stephen Hill 3.0, never gets on the field. I mean, Stephen Hill had hand problems, but it's the same difference. Whatever problems you have in the league, it carries with you. So don't rush this kid back. I don't expect him to be back any soon. I expect Le'Veon Bell to be back, but I do not expect them to be back.
I expect Mims to be back because one deciding factor. That's because Adam Gase, hot seat, he might even lose his job with the way the new talking about it, and the media's blowing it up.
Which is
They have a
fair.
week 11 bye week. That's a lot of time to lose your job.
That
He
is
has
a
a
lot
lot
of.
of he has a lot of games to mess up before he actually lose his job.
I
But
mean, Joe Douglas. I mean, I don't think he'll even if yeah. So Adam Gase. So they come out next week in Indianapolis, and they play the same way they've been playing. I think. Then you look at Adam Gase. Guy's got to go. Right now, for me, Adam Gase, I'm like, this guy can go, but at the same time, to fire him now, what is that going to do? Literally, what is that going to do? It's going to throw your team into more chaos. I mean, what do you want? You want Greg Williams, who's clearly taken a step back this year, or do you want Dole Loggins? I don't. You don't want him head coaching your team. It's just one of those scenarios where it's
it
like
sounds like a foreign candy.
he is. Yeah, Dole. I mean, but that's the thing. That's our offense coordinator. That's the person. Oh, who's working with Sam? Adam, obviously. But Dole Loggins, like, who's this guy? He was in Miami with Adam Gase. He's Adam Gase's best friend. Like, these are the guys that are in charge of Sam. It shows. And when you talk about consistency, and we talked about how Sam looked basically lost against the Bills. That's coaching. If your quarterback is going out there looking lost, he wasn't prepared all week for this team.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you say, oh, Sean McDermott had a good game plan, it doesn't matter. You adapt to that game. At halftime, I know the Jets played a little bit better at halftime, but you do see major development to get around what the Bills were. No,
well,
not
they
at
did
all.
the same like rinse and repeat, and they threw in like a different play every here.
Maybe empty. Maybe he threw in an empty spot every once in a while. Yeah. That's what he does. That's the thing. Adam plays. He plays dive power. Okay, that doesn't work. All right. Well, guess what? Now it's 3rd and 9 because your 2 dives and powers didn't work. It's 3rd and 9. Oh, I gotta run an out, a 5-yard out. What is that doing? What are you possibly doing? The play calls in the spots where they are on the field is what gets me. He's consistent. I know in week 1 there was 2 instances where it's 3rd and 1. He ran the first time, dive. Frank Gore stopped right away. Wouldn't you think, hey, it didn't work last time. Let's try something different. They did it again, didn't work. I'm like, where is the creativity? Where is the adjustments? I don't care if you want to be good at football and you want to just do the basics, I get it. Do the basics, but you got to do them right. Mm-hmm. They're doing the basics right now, and they're not even doing them right at all. If you're going to run power the right way, run behind Becton, and drill your guard off the other guard to come around and pull, and that's what you do. No, guess what? How many times did they run power to Becton? I don't know. Probably under 5. So it's these things that he's not making these adjustments. These on-the-fly adjustments. Your game plan, you come in, you could have a whole game plan all week. You could come in and say Sean McDermott runs a 3-4 all week, or in the past. For the Jets' first game of the season, he comes out in a 4-3. What do? Give up? No, you adjust on the fly. Adam Gase has no adjustment skills at all, and that is hurting the Jets.
Yeah, if you want to be Mr. Fundamental, you have to put the fund in it, because right now it's just all mental, and they don't have even the mental capacity. I'm losing it every Sunday.
You're losing it. What do you think? You hear Jordan Jenkins.
Our fan base, the Jets deserve to have free food and drinks at Jet games. We're paying money to watch the most tragic team in football right now. Apparently,
it clearly is. I mean, you look at the hometown Rock Giants. Now they have been terrible as well.
They've been more exciting to watch.
But they've been more exciting. You know what? Because Daniel Jones, as much as he has his turnover and stuff, he's looking creative. Jason Garrett looks like a freaking genius next to freaking Adam Gase.
Another point I want to Jason Garrett's not even the best offensive mind in the NFL. We're not giving Jason Garrett any credit. But Daniel Jones he's been letting Daniel Jones go out there and make plays. That's what the great people who are smart and know how to do that. That's how they get the best talent, and they know what that player can do, and then you build plays around that.
Exactly.
For example, Chargers Chiefs this week. 30 minutes before the game, Justin Herbert found out he was starting. Went out there. He had 1 interception.
Yeah, but he threw
300 yards.
Touchdown.
300 yards, 1 touchdown, ran for a touchdown. He ran into a linebacker. I think it was Wilson or something on the Chiefs. but then he got up and walked away, and the linebacker was on the ground. I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy is a unit. And watch, Lynn's gonna take this, and he's gonna be like, okay, I know what I have in this guy.
Exactly.
Now on the build, Justin Herbert over. I don't know if you saw that game, but he overthrew a lot of his receivers.
Which is okay. He's a rookie.
Yeah, he's also 6'6".
Yeah, but he also got the nod 10 minutes before, or 30 minutes before the game.
He's also significantly taller than all his pass catchers and his tight ends.
But at the same time, like, think about it, that kid. He looked light years better than Sam Darnold. Look, light years better than Sam Darnold.
It was actually his first game.
It was actually his first game. But Anthony Lynn was prepared for it. He knew. I mean, if you think about it, Anthony Lynn, I'm sure he watched tons of Oregon tape. If you watch Oregon tape, Justin Herbert, I mean, even in the Rose Bowl last year alone, Justin Herbert had 3 rushing touchdowns and led Oregon to a win. Like, that's what he did at Oregon. He was that. I mean, you saw Josh Allen run last week, or this past week. He was trucking people in Miami. Josh Allen was trucking the Jets. He was making the Jets. That's the type of thing. But he knew. Guess what? Sam Darnold can run the ball. Sam Darnold can roll out.
He can't run over people.
It doesn't matter. But Sam knows not. Justin Herbert's 6'6", whatever, 240. Josh Allen's 6'6", 240, 250. He knows he can do it. Sam knows get out of the pocket.
I don't know if they're that much. But
I mean, I don't know if they're that big, but they're both 6'6", probably like 230. Like 225, I'm assuming. So, I mean, but those guys, they know they can run people. Sam can run. You've seen the one play against the 49ers where he broke out, ran for the first down. Sam can do that. Why is that not incorporated?
Why doesn't... one thing I noticed a lot about... First off, when we drafted Sam, I want to throw this out there. I was not happy because I do not like USC quarterbacks.
Which is fair because... We've had our own fair share of USC quarterbacks that did not.
Yeah, and the only one that was you could talk about is Carson Palmer.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, you look at Carson Palmer. Like he had
when he left the team who drafted him, and I think that could happen for Sam. I honestly do.
No, I think that
I think Sam has a lot of potential. I just think he needs a coach that has that same mindset that he does. Let Sam excel at play action. USC they run with they had Ronald Jones as their tailback, and you would see a lot of play actions in their offset, in their offense offset.
Offset, Migo.
So be creative. Look at Sam, what he grew up doing, and be like, okay, this is muscle memory. It's all muscle memory. Those throws, he's making muscle. He knows he can do it because muscle memory.
Sitting there, all these videos of, oh my God, Sam this. Oh my God, Sam. It's when Sam gets creative that he does that. He's being prohibited from being creative right now.
Adam Gase has the creativity of a rock.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah. I mean, but Sam's creativity, I mean, when you see him roll out of pocket, we'll start talking about week 2, where the 49ers, where Sam had those plays where he broke out, got creative, went out of the pocket, went towards the sideline, thrown across his body, but he did it with confidence, and he did it using his brain, that no one's in the middle of the field. But, I mean, you go back to week 1, and he did the same thing, and it didn't work, right? So you see these flashes of Sam. You see these flashes of literal greatness. Like the throw to Barrios across his body, sliding to the left, on the run.
He was backpedaling.
Sling. Aaron Rodgers-esque. Unbelievable. But then you look at in week 4, and you see him roll left, throw across his body, do a little jump pass, throw it in the middle of the field, interception. You're like, oh wait, so is Adam Gase allowing him to do that? And sometimes it's working a la 49ers week, or sometimes it's not working the Bills week. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you look at that, he's got the, I guess, freedom to do that type of stuff, but there's no creativity in it. It's got to be designed. Those type of things got to be designed, because you know that if he has a designed rollout, his wide receivers know he's moving from, say it's a designed rollout to right. His wide receivers know he's moving to the right side of the field, so they can adjust. But on the fly, if he's trying to, break the pocket, get out because he has to, those wide receivers don't actually know.
That's when the route breaks down.
That one's the route breaks
down. Then it
down.
turns into like
Backyard football.
schoolyard football when you're out
Exactly.
there playing with your friends and everyone's running circles.
And Sam can do that, but as you see, Sam can also not do that.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes back to coaching because, I mean, if Sam's doing that in practice and he's hitting it, Adam Gase is like, okay, that's fine. He's hitting it. But at the same time, like, Adam Gase should be like, hey, don't do that. Let's work on something else. Let's set your feet. Let's get something going. You know, there's none of that structure, it feels. It doesn't have structure. Usually when teams don't have structure, they are all over the place. That's low. They're all
They look like, you know, you go to a restaurant and you order like a steak and they come out and it looks like it's microwave. And you're like, wait, I just paid like $40 for this. That's how Jets fans are gonna feel if they went. Thank God
we don't.
They're not. Thank God they're not allowing players or like fans back at MetLife because there would be a lot of angry customers.
I don't blame them.
The only reason I would go to a Jets game if they had fans would be to watch Mekhi Becton just pancake people. And another player that actually kind of broke out last week at offensive line was Quinn Williams.
Oh my God, Quinnen Williams finally showed me who Quinnen Williams. We knew he was capable of that, but he decided to. I think he's getting sick. I think he's genuinely sick of what's going on and the fact that, like, not to say he's not producing, but he really. Where's Quinnen Williams' name been past couple whatever between last year and last week? Where was Quinnen Williams? I think it finally got to him. Hey, I need to step up big time, and this is where I'm gonna. And he did step up. I mean, the 49ers didn't. If anything, the 49ers didn't have an answer for him. That's it. Yeah, that's the only person they didn't have an answer for.
I think he matured a lot from blessing himself in an interview and then responding to it with a thank you.
Legend.
I think he matured a lot. The guy at the airport might have been a wake-up call for him.
That also could have been.
That could have been like a huge wake-up call. Like, hey, I am the third pick of the 2019 NFL draft, and I just got my name blown up all across the world because I had a gun in my bag.
Yeah.
And I'm 21.
Yeah, I mean.
And he still had braces too, so that couldn't have helped his self-esteem.
But the braces are off, and
I need braces.
He needs. I think he also realized like he needed to. Oh well, Jordan Jenkins, rookie, blah blah. He knows now. It's like, hey, this is my time. I gotta wreak havoc. If I don't wreak havoc, we're gonna.
Yeah, exactly. He looked around in the locker room after they traded Jamal Adams and he saw C.J. Mosley opt out and he was like, crap, I really need to step it up or we're not going to get the quarterback at all this year. It's going to be me and Jordan.
Yeah, seriously. Jordan, who lost, like, you guys are not in position. Like, if you're captain of your defense, it's telling me that players are not in the correct position. That's a huge red flag to me. Like, there's no reason that they should be out of position. I could see them being like, hey, players are not getting to the ball quick enough. These guys are not making the correct read, blah, blah, blah. He's saying they're not in the right position. And that is, once again, goes back to coaching. Coaches put you in the coaches are supposed to put you in the correct spot.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times with calls, too, they get messed up because of all the noise at the games.
Oh yeah,
but there's no one there. There's no one there. How did you get confused? You have to whisper the call to each other because you could hear it back from the exit.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like last year, C.J. Mosley, week 1 against the Bills, you saw him moving like, hey, shift to the left, shift to the right, moving the guys around, and he was setting them up, and they were getting at Josh Allen, and he had a phenomenal week 1 performance last year. But now, this year, we have Neville Hewitt,
Neville Hewitt, I will tell you right now, Neville Hewitt is our I guess, knight in shining armor. Because that dude plays hard and hits everybody and plays well. Like, Neville Hewitt is a starting middle linebacker in that. And he deserves it. And he really deserves that. He really deserves it. Because he balled last year. He was a great middle linebacker this year. And I could tell already, like, to play football and be good at football.
Mhm.
He's been like I said.
I think I do agree that Neville Hewitt is a starting middle linebacker, or deserves to be a starting middle linebacker because of how much heart he plays. However, I think that there's some linebackers in the league who can just adjust their guys better, like the
100%.
CJ Mosley, Bobby Wagner does it.
I mean, you got to remember, like Neville Hewitt has.
He doesn't have that much, like
He doesn't have that much experience. He doesn't
Mhm.
have the leadership like
He's
that.
still relatively, is he like
He's
mid
decent. He is
20s,
mid.
late
No, late 20s. I think he's
20s?
like 20.
Okay.
But thing about him is like he's that perfect complement to CJ Mosley. The
Yes.
guy that is gonna stick his nose, try to blow up that full. If they're running a dive, Neville Hewitt's gonna be the first one to meet the fullback and blow it up. That's the
Mhm.
type of guy Neville Hewitt
We
is.
need him to step up too because next week we have the Colts.
The Colts and
Jonathan Taylor has been showing what he can do.
I mean, but Jonathan Taylor, like he was a stud in college,
Yeah.
and it translated so well, and that's the only thing. I mean, if or look at next week, like we really need to have some discipline, and we need Philip Rivers to turn over the ball. That's going to be a
Yeah.
huge thing. I mean,
If the Jets defense makes Philip Rivers look like he's 20,
yeah,
that's it. I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna send in my application for Adam Gase's job. I've had enough.
if the Colts come out and Philip Rivers, there's 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, the Jets look like the same old thing. There is gonna be a fire over what's going on. It's unbelievable. If they come out and do the same thing they
as
did
last week, as same thing as the 49ers game where they just give up first play an 80-yard rushing touchdown.
The life was sucked out of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm telling you,
I had Mostert in fantasy, so I was happy. But regardless, back to being a Jet fan. That was just a punch in the gut.
It was a punch in the gut, and it looked like that was Ashton Davis's. But he got blown up, right? Like that's the type of thing. I'm like, they have 3 safety. First of all, when are you running a 3 safety set on the first play of the game? They're in a big nickel, and they come out in like strong formation, and they run power. I'm like, what is going on?
I think they were trying to do, because I know the Cardinals do some defense sometimes. They'll the Baker and they'll stack them in the box and they'll bring in another safety, play that back. But I was flopping from the Giants game because I had friends over. So I was flopping, so I didn't really see or really get to pay that much close attention to where the safeties were lined up.
It was like, I mean, Marcus May was in the box,
and then
Davis and McDougal were back out.
Okay.
But the thing is first down, they have a heavy set, they have a fullback in, they have multiple tight ends in. Why are you not in your base 3-4 defense? Why are you in a nickel? Or even, but they might have been in a dime, but even at that point, like, why are you in that? It's not a pass, it's first down. It's the first play of the game. Throw some pressure.
Jimmy G's not like
Jimmy G is atrocious under pressure.
You have George Kittle who was out. Samuel was out.
Everybody, they all got injured, and
they made Jordan Reed. I love Jordan.
Well, Jordan Reed's good. No, I'll give Jordan Reed all the credit in the world. But they made Nick Mullins. They made Nick Mullins look like a starting quarterback in the NFL, and that's freaking annoying.
You know, real quickly, I haven't really given him that much attention or spotlight, and I think we should because when he did look good, Bradley McDougald has been solid.
He's been solid. He's everything what we thought he would be.
I think it was like that trade we won because Bradley McDougald has been like a solid starting strong safety. I thought did he have an interception week 1? I'm not sure
Maybe
if he
did or not. I don't remember. But he's been doing well. I mean, the safety, I'm going to tell you right now, this may be hard like to realize, but the Jets did not miss a beat at safety position. They did not miss a beat. Whether the corners stink and they're not playing good and the secondary looks bad, but our safeties really didn't miss a beat. They're good in the box, they're good in coverage. But once again, it goes back to
no, he didn't.
He didn't.
Just to answer that, no, he didn't. Okay, I thought he did for some reason.
Maybe he didn't. But it doesn't matter. But I really don't think our safeties missed a beat. I really don't think. Jamal's doing pretty well in Seattle. Like,
yeah, he's not bored.
He's not bored.
He let us know that.
He's fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Seahawks are going to be the Seahawks.
Yeah, Russell Wilson looks like an MVP.
should. He deserves.
He's
That's
absolutely.
balling.
He's just a
Respect on
handsome
him.
man too.
He's awesome.
But
I mean, we gotta start looking at the discipline.
mhm.
That I mean, if they come out and they start penalties, this and that, like that's on the coach. Discipline. That's it. Like I want to give Adam Gase this week to take this criticism and get creative because he could. You know, it's very possible for Adam Gase to do the same thing that the players are doing right now, and he's genuinely pissed off, and he thinks he's screwing things up. It's very possible for that to happen, and him to get more creative. I could totally see it, and this is the week to do it. The Colts lost their best safety, like Malik Hooker's out.
He's out. I saw that.
Like they're not that good. Like Philip Rivers is still showing he's aging. Like this is the time to come out and punch the Colts in the mouth. Get creative.
Blow off the top with Perryman.
Well, Perryman might not play. He's got his ankle. I mean,
crap.
Yeah. Josh Malone. Yeah, the wide receiver. Yeah. He's out. He's just messed out. Our receivers right now are Braxton Berrios, Chris Hogan, and Josh Malone.
Yeah.
No, seriously, that's it.
We only have 3?
Yeah, that's it. Perriman's out. Crowder. Hopefully Crowder comes back. That's a him. Like
that's actually it. Is Lawrence Cager
practice squad? They haven't elevated.
I thought he was gonna
I thought so too. They didn't use him.
Like all I read about him was like good things. Like he's stepping up. Bring up Lawrence Cager. He's not like
he was. Guy. I think they brought him up last. But it's just
we had 3 wide receivers. What are we gonna do?
Well, no, we came in with Perriman. It was them 4, and then Perriman got hurt halfway.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Hogan. But I don't know. I mean, Joe's got to do something to a little bit. Even if it's bringing back Demaryius Thomas, get a body in
Sign
there.
Des Bryant.
But get a veteran receiver in there. That's just gonna freaking help Sam in any genuine way. Like DT, what was it? Why are we not bringing Demaryius Thomas back?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of laughing at just the thought of Des Bryant coming back.
Yeah, he's been doing interviews and stuff and tryouts. We look at the Jets. Next week, Colts. Gotta come out, punch in the mouth. We have to see discipline. And I want to leave you with some stats about if anybody has any doubt about Adam Gase. We are last in first down. Last. That is absolutely... I mean, we have to be one of the worst teams. Like, if you look at our third down plays, our third down versions of stuff, we're in the bottom 5 of the league. All of it. And then the Jets continuously, not only in offense, but if you look on defense, Nick Mullins rolls out, freaking squares his shoulders, throws a dart to, I think his name is Bourne or something, and it's 16 yards down the field, first down. Like, our defense is atrocious on third down, too. So the Jets overall need to work on third down. Mm-hmm. Offense and defense. Get creative, get savvy, let's work on it, and win some football games.
I want to ask a question because I've been listening to a lot of sports radio this week. What if the Jets end up with the first overall pick? What would you do in that situation?
I'm gonna have to say I'm on that decision. I see another 2-3 weeks. Okay. Because it's not fit. I cannot judge Sam Darnold right now off of 2 weeks of football. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, like if they say he's that transcendent talent, Sam Darnold doesn't progress much as it's either his fault or Adam Gase's fault. Then obviously we got to go with the Trevor Lawrence. But Sam's value then depletes. Yeah. But if Sam comes out, throws for 300 yards, throws 2 touchdowns against the Colts, whether they win or lose, he looks really like he should. Then you trade that for a haul. And you start over with a head coach. But, I mean, the Trevor Lawrence thing is very attractive. Very, very attractive. If he's actually that transcendent talent. And, I mean, he's shown that he is.
He's absolutely insane. He's 6'6" also. He's gigantic. He has
and
flow.
And he's a winner. He's a goddamn winner.
You ever see the video of the girl who looks like Trevor Lawrence who goes to Clemson? They met at a party or something.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That was pretty funny. But I think if the Jets get a top 5 pick, and say Trevor Lawrence is out of the question, they got like number. Where are you going with the 4th pick? And let's say the Seahawks are 30, like in the third, like late 20s, 30 range.
They're gonna
Yeah,
be late 20s.
we'll say 29, maybe even 32 at this point.
At this point, but I don't know. I mean, you gotta look. I mean, the college season is gonna be tough. This draft is gonna be tough because a lot of these guys opt out already. I mean, you look at a guy like Gase at LSU. That's neat, explosive receiver. He's been the best receiver in college for the past 2 years. Like, he did opt out this year, but not gonna miss it. You have Travis Etienne. He's the Clemson running back.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's probably a late round
He
pick.
could be like a Clyde Edward-Helaire, like late pick, like that type of thing. I mean,
he might even fall to the 2nd round.
I don't know. He's kind of the best.
We'll see what happens.
But this year.
That normally happens to the best, like J.K. Dobbins, Jonathan Taylor. They both fell.
Yeah, true. I mean,
I didn't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire was the best halfback in that draft, but
who'd you think was
in that draft class, I thought it was Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins was 2nd, and I thought DeAndre Swift was 3rd.
Yeah, and then what's his?
I thought Helaire was better than AJ Dillon, and I also liked Cam Akers too.
Bro, I did like Cam Akers. He's
injured now.
Yeah. It's gonna get to the point where if more superstars start getting hurt, you're gonna see these if any of these quarterbacks start getting hurt, there's gonna be the NFLPA is gonna. And then what's gonna happen?
Yeah, with all that turf too.
The 49ers blaming the turf game, like, I'm sorry, but that's just the Giants and Steelers played the same turf last week. There wasn't.
I think they get the turf changed every week.
Well, no, they changed end zones because it's the same. The end zones get changed for Giants and stuff. But
obviously they're different teams.
Yeah, but
imagine if they forgot one week and the Jets run out there and the Giants logos are in the end zone.
No, that's a whole process. That's insane. But no, they keep the turf the same. They just change the end zones. And I don't know, the 49ers just, something's got to be wrong, so they blamed it on the turf. Yeah. But the fact that they sorry.
I think this year I agree with you with Jamar Chase. If they get like a top 5 pick, we know this year's stacked with quarterbacks with just Lawrence Taylor, and I'm drawing a blank on
Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, Lawrence Taylor.
I wish.
Imagine. No. But so there's Lawrence Taylor and then Justin Fields. Yes, okay. And there's a bunch of quarterbacks like coming up too, like Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, say the Adam Gase, what he's doing, that's fire. Look at some. Those are the type of dudes that have developed guys. I mean, Kyler is a star, man.
Exactly. What's going to be hard about the Jets getting a new head coach is that Joe Douglas needs to find a guy that he knows how to build around, give him the players he needs, and he also needs to. If they get a guy who comes in and goes, Darnold's not my guy, I want to draft my guy, the guy be like, all right, hard pill to swallow, down the hatch. That's the. You gotta. It's rough. It really is. But
I think it's gonna work right way.
I think you'll find a lot of coaches. I think there's a lot of coaches out there in the carousel that issue.
There is, and there's gonna be more, obviously. But I think if Joe Douglas does it, he's gonna do it the correct way, where he either fires Adam at the end of the season or bye week area. So either bye week, then end of the season, you'll know where the Jets buy in picks already. So if the Jets come out and they have the first pick, Joe Douglas is gonna have to incorporate that in his head coaching hire.
Just give Dabo Sweeney everything he wants.
But if he see, that's the thing. You have those type of things. But if it comes out the Jets have the 8th pick or whatever pick they have, like he knows that Sam is still his guy, and he needs to work around Sam. So he'll have that figured out. And for once, if this happens, Jets will do the process the correct way. I mean, Johnson came out and said, like, I did it the wrong way. I fired Bowles, then I let McCagg, like, they hired a coach, and the coach hired the GM. Like, everything about that, like, was so wrong.
It's so backwards.
So backwards. Like, he knows, but he admitted to it. He admitted that he knew he did it wrong.
Giving Gase the key to Jets franchise is like giving a kid the key to Disney World.
Yeah, well, I don't know what I tell you, Disney World
would be
if you gave me
11-year-old was running around.
I think if you and me were running Disney World right now, it would be up into flames. There's no way we could run Disney World. You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't. I mean,
I think I can do a better job coaching the New York Jets than running Disneyland. I'll tell you that.
I think so too. I think Adam Gase would be better off not coaching the New York Jets.
I think Adam Gase should go to Disney World and we should go now. But
yeah, the only time Adam Gase will ever say he's going to Disney World is if him and his family are going on vacation.
That's the only time.
That's the only time.
But you know what?
Adam Gase, if you're listening to this, go sit on a brick or something. I don't know.
No, Adam Gase, if you're listening to this, just get more creative, man.
What the hell, man?
No, I think the guy knows football. He likes football. I just don't think he's trying that hard. I really don't think. I think he has the right mindset of football comes first, and that's what it's all about. But he's not expanding. He's not getting creative. He's not doing what he said he was going to look at Le'Veon Bell Steeler tapes. He said he was going to look at expanding the offense.
He did the same thing with Le'Veon in week 1. It's the same thing. It's like rinse and repeat. He's saying it's like you ever watch South Park?
Mm-hmm.
You ever see the episode when it's the BP oil commercial and he's saying, "Oh, we're sorry."
Yeah,
that's what he does every week. And they're like, "Okay, maybe it'll change." No, stop. That's why Jet fans are so quick to turn the switch on people, because we're just tired. It's 10 years. I forgot what seeing green and white looked like unless I was looking at the field when it came to February, or like even like December or January. Like, we're just not a playoff team anymore. Well, it's been 10 years, and I'm honestly going mentally insane. So thanks, Adam Gase.
Thank you, Adam Gase. But I mean, I hope it. You know what? Week 2, long season.
Yeah, really long.
There's still a huge chance that he turns it around. Sam turns it around. They get it together. Like, it's very possible for that to happen. Right now, it doesn't look like Adam Gase is getting creative. Who knows? He could freaking wake up one day and be like, "Hey, Peyton Manning, can you help me get creative?" You know, it's that type of stuff.
Yeah.
He can't. The thing is, I think he can. I think he can be creative, and I think he can be successful as an offensive coordinator.
Mm.
But for some reason, whether he's not trying hard, or he's not using it correctly, or he's being all those things are very possible.
I wonder if Peyton Manning had a sick bet with Eli, like a really messed up one. He goes, "Hey, you want to see me ruin the Jets franchise for another 2 years? Watch this. Hey, Chris Johnson.
Adam's
Adam Gase,
amazing.
Brilliant. Best quarterback whisperer in the world." And Adam goes in, "So you're a quarterback whisperer?" "I am." And then it's paying off to a scene, and he's like whispering to like Sam Darnold plays. That's what he meant by quarterback whispering. He whispers because he doesn't know how to discipline people. He's like a revolving door. People just walk all over him. That's what Jamal Adams did. And now look, you lost control of Jamal Adams, and he went to a new team.
I think Jamal. I mean, that's true. I would say he did, I guess, lose control over Jamal Adams, but Jamal Adams' attitude is poor. He just can't have that. And I don't blame Adam Gase for I mean, I don't think Adam Gase really did anything to Jamal. It was Jamal having demands and the Jets not immediately meeting those demands. So he immediately throws a fit. That's a completely different story. I don't think Adam Gase. I cannot take Adam Gase and Jamal. I can't have that correlate.
I just think it's part of Jamal's attitude. Plus, he's a young player. considered one
The
like
best safety.
probably like
He-
top 3.
He's definitely top 3 safety.
He's probably number one.
He
To
may
be
be number at
honest,
this
yeah.
point. The way he's been playing, like he is probably the best safety in the league.
But
But
like
at
when
the
you
same
take
time,
when you take a pedigree player like that coming from like a winning culture in LSU, who their fans were so excited to play for, like you get crazy playing. Like you see the Honey Badger, he goes
Yeah.
crazy when he plays. All those LSU like safeties do. When you take a mentality like that and you're like, all right, here's a losing team we're rebuilding, but don't worry, give us maybe, I don't know,
a couple of years.
the rest of your life, and we'll see what we can do. Maybe one playoff run.
But that's the type of player you don't want. That's the type of player you don't want to involve in your culture, because they were building the culture around, because he was that leader, that guy. That's what they wanted. But like clearly his attitude is poor. It started out last year when the Cowboys decided to call Joe Douglas, ask if he was available. Joe Douglas said, no, Jamal is definitely not available. And then it got out to media that the Cowboys called Joe, and then Jamal was like, oh, do you ever hear Tom Brady or Aaron Donald's name in trade discussions? And the media was like, no, you were asked about. The Jets didn't shop you. Someone else asked about the Jets.
We I think it was like along the lines of like, well, if you call, we'll listen, but you're not guaranteed.
No, it was like, hey, is Jamal available? And
that's
like,
what GMs do. They call
no.
and they listen.
They were like, and Joe was like, no, Jamal's not up. And then the media came out, and Jamal threw a fit. Oh, I'm gonna delete all the Jets from my social media. And then he came out and was like, it's nothing. I'm just trying to like be cleaner about my social media. There's nothing about it. And then all of a sudden,
the video service with him in Dallas. Jamal, come here. I'm trying.
It's seriously like that's a piss poor. That's the Earl Thomas attitude.
Well, Earl Thomas got mad because they franchise tagged him, and then he got injured, and then
but
that was
even before
season.
Earl Thomas was running into the Cowboys locker room. Come on, get me. That's the attitude you don't want. And the reason Earl Thomas doesn't have a job right now is because he has that attitude. And the fact is Earl Thomas is an aging safety. Jamal Adams is a young safety with the same attitude. That's not going to cut it in a couple years. Sure, your talent will drag you along, but once you keep going with that crazy,
he's in his early 30s, right? Like 32.
Yeah, he's 32, but where's he playing right
now? That's around the time, like usually, like those secondary players start declining.
Earl Thomas,
unless you're Charles Woodson and you have the magical fountain of youth in your backyard.
Him and Frank Gore.
Yeah, they're roommates. Tom Brady comes here to vacation sometimes.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I think we need a strong, like I said before, a big punch in the mouth to the. That's the only way the Jets. The only way I can sit here and be optimistic about the Jets is. What time do they play? They play 1:00.
Yeah, we're not special. They're gonna give us all the 1:00 games.
Well, 1:00 game. At 1:00,
that's when people go to church.
I want to see Jets come out, play, and have. Looks like a freaking middle school football game. Guys getting crushed 30-0, and these kids walking around the field with their head down and this and that.
Kicking rocks.
Pick your head up. Get some discipline. Prepare yourself the week of. Know what's in front of you. And let's get a freaking W, man. Get a freaking W.
I guess, all we can do is wait and see till next week, right?
That's all
And that is going to conclude our episode. Thank you guys very much for listening to us here at Third and Very Long. Tyler, you want to plug in the Twitter again?
Yeah, follow us on Twitter. We're at Third_Very_Long. Follow us on Twitter, DM us, whatever you guys want. Talk about. Yeah. We're gonna do this kind of in bi-weekly thing, so we'll talk about it 2 weeks at a time. We'll do it every Tuesday, and the episode will be out on YouTube on Tuesday night, and it'll be on Spotify by Wednesday. Yeah. So plug in every other week and talk Jets football, whether it's good or bad.
You can also check out if you want to look at any past episodes that might not be on Spotify anymore. We all our episodes on those Third and Very Long. You can find it very easily.
Super easy. It's the first thing that pops up. It's a little logo with football and like some wings, and it says our name on it. Just give it a
Pretty
listen,
cool.
And we love feedback. So tell us, guys. Tell us what you
leave
want to
some
hear.
comments if you guys want us to talk about fantasy a little bit more too. We're more than happy to. I won on a nail biter. Thank God Alvin Kamara carried me this week. But on that note, just leave us some feedback. We love to answer some questions, talk about what you guys want to hear too.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, guys.